In the next 5 seconds, everything holding your body and your world together will violently disintegrate, and your brain is hardwired to believe it's impossible. 100% of life on Earth is about to be erased in a countdown from 5. So, what's the one secret you're not supposed to know? Imagine you're outside, enjoying a perfectly normal day. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, everything feels safe and predictable. Suddenly, without any warning, the sky darkens to a deep, unsettling black, even though it's the middle of the afternoon. But the color of the sky is the least of your problems, because something far more terrifying is happening right under your feet. Every person on the planet simultaneously feels a bizarre, indescribable popping sensation inside their inner ears, a sudden, violent change in pressure. This isn't just a minor discomfort. It's the first sign that the laws of physics as you know them have just been broken. But that's not the hidden truth. What most people never consider is what oxygen actually does beyond just letting you breathe. There is a secret to oxygen's role in our world that government agencies and scientific bodies rarely discuss in public. Almost nobody talks about the terrifying structural secret that holds our entire civilization together, a secret tied directly to oxygen. If you suddenly knew the world was ending in 5 seconds, what would your final desperate thought actually be? Before you can even process the darkness, every concrete building, bridge, and dam on the planet instantly crumbles into fine dust. Your home, your office, the Hoover Dam, all gone in a silent, cascading collapse that defies all logic. This isn't an explosion. It's a complete and total failure of matter, and it's happening everywhere at once. But the buildings turning to dust isn't the part that should truly scare you, because the effects are about to get much more personal. The concrete vanished because oxygen is a critical binding agent, the invisible glue holding those structures together. Without it, there's nothing left to maintain the integrity of our most massive and impressive creations. This is where most people begin to panic, realizing their world is literally falling apart around them on a molecular level. Simultaneously, every untreated piece of metal instantly welds itself to another, a process known as cold welding in a vacuum. Your car keys fuse to your ring, skyscrapers twist into unrecognizable sculptures of bonded steel before they even hit the ground. What happens next is something that scientists have only ever simulated in protected lab environments, never in the open. The loss of oxygen means our planet's atmosphere has just lost 21% of its air pressure in an instant. Whoa, check this out. It's like instantly zipping from sea level right to the top of Mount Everest in, like, less than a second. And the consequences for your body, immediate, catastrophic, but probably not how you're thinking. See, it's not the choking that gets you first. Nope, it's the rapid, explosive expansion of all those gases trapped inside you. But even that isn't the worst part, because what's happening to Earth itself is, like, way more apocalyptic. So, the Earth's crust, it's 45% oxygen, holding all that silicon, aluminum, and other elements together in solid form. But when that oxygen vanishes, the very ground beneath your feet, it just loses all its structural integrity and starts to break apart. You wouldn't just fall, you'd be standing on a surface that's rapidly dissolving into a sea of unstable elements. Scientists, they actually stopped their simulations at this point, because the outcome was just too devastating to fully compute. And your body, being mostly water, it contains a massive amount of oxygen. Suddenly, the hydrogen becomes a free, unbonded gas. You would inflate, grotesquely, like a balloon, as the hydrogen inside you expands with explosive force. But remember, all of this is happening within the first 2 or 3 seconds. The true finale? Oh, that's still to come. Without oxygen, combustion is impossible. Every engine, every flame, every fire on Earth is instantly extinguished. Airplanes, they just fall from the darkened sky like stones, their engines dead, their metal frames fusing together as they descend. The silence? Oh, it's absolute and terrifying, broken only by the sound of a world just turning to dust and falling apart. This, my friends, is the moment where your survival instinct fully shuts down, replaced by a profound and overwhelming sense of inevitability. Now, the ozone layer, our planet's shield against the sun's most harmful radiation, is actually made of a form of oxygen, and it disappears instantly, exposing everything and everyone on the surface to the full, unfiltered fury of the sun. What happens next is never shown in disaster movies because, well, it's just too graphic, too complete, too absolute. Anyone exposed to the sun would receive immediate, lethal burns, their skin flesh cooking from the intense UV radiation. You wouldn't even have time to feel the pain. The cellular damage would be instantaneous and total. But the real nightmare, oh, it's just beginning, because we still haven't discussed what happens to the oceans. Water, you see, is 1/3 oxygen. Without it, the remaining hydrogen becomes an extremely lightweight, free gas. All the oceans, lakes, and rivers on the planet would boil away, their hydrogen expanding and escaping into what's left of the atmosphere. The sheer volume of this expanding gas would create a planetary shockwave of unimaginable power. This is where the timeline becomes almost impossible for the human mind to comprehend, as multiple extinction events happen at once. Your cells, deprived of their oxygen component, would begin to rupture and disintegrate on a microscopic level. You are not just dying, you are ceasing to exist as a coherent biological entity, dissolving from the inside out. And all of this has happened in less than 5 seconds. The final moment is the most terrifying of all. The sudden pressure change from the atmosphere's disappearance would create winds more powerful than any nuclear blast. These winds would scour the surface of the planet, picking up the dust of former mountains and cities. But that's not the secret. The secret NASA never explains is what happens to the rock and mantle below the crust. The loss of 45% of the crust's mass would trigger a gravitational rebound of catastrophic proportions. The planet itself would convulse, triggering earthquakes and volcanic eruptions on a scale never before seen. The ground would crack open, revealing the molten core of the Earth in massive fiery chasms across the globe. This is the final hidden truth about the 5-second apocalypse. It's not about what vanishes, but what is unleashed. The disappearance of oxygen doesn't just remove our air, it breaks the fundamental chains holding our planet's very structure together. It's a complete and total planetary disintegration event, triggered by the loss of a single crucial element. The end isn't darkness or silence, it's the raw, untamed power of a planet tearing itself apart from the inside. By the time those 5 seconds are up, whoa, the Earth? It'd be an unrecognizable, burning, expanding ball of dust and magma. No aftermath, no recovery, just the unmaking of everything, like in less time than it takes to draw a breath. You wouldn't just, die from lack of air. You'd be simultaneously crushed, burned, irradiated, and vaporized. The planet would become a brief, brilliant star in our solar system before fading into a cloud of its own remains. The ultimate secret, folks, is that oxygen isn't just for life. It's the element that keeps our world from becoming a literal hell. You wouldn't even get to see the end. The destruction of your own body would be faster than the speed of your thoughts.